people essentially are taking profits right now. We've had a big run up in the equity markets, in the stock market, in crypto. And people are saying, wait, listen, I'm up X amount. Why don't I take some off the table? Because you have all these unforeseen possible negatives out there. For instance, Jerome Powell saying something that the market doesn't recognize. So I think the big question is watch what happens into Wednesday. If we rally back up, then you can see exactly what happened. Bitcoin had this nice run up, touched kind of 24,000. And then today markets are open, markets are selling, institutional volumes in there, whale volume, and it comes right back in. So I agree. I think your next stop is
This is the day when people can make it or break it. By the time we are publishing this video, there's a Fed meeting scheduled for today, and everyone is waiting to hear from Jerome Powell. Even though crypto markets are independent of government or Fed decisions, fear stops investors from buying. Or even worse, it can start a massive selling frenzy. In this video, you will hear from Gareth Soloway that a sell-off is already happening in stocks and crypto. This can be dangerous to the current price action, so pay close attention to this video until the end.
So this is a huge week for markets overall, right? Like you said, Fed meeting on Wednesday. Thursday, we have Apple, Google, and Amazon all reporting earnings after the bell. And then Friday, we have the jobs data. So, I mean, this is one of those crazy weeks where it's going to get wild. The Fed decision is, needless to say, the most important one. They're going to raise by 25 basis points. That's not in question. It's all about what the commentary is going forward. It's tricky to know at this point because we still have another day and a half to go until we get that. We're selling off today, which is kind of a positive, actually. The more you sell off, the more likely the markets will snap back. So people essentially are taking profits right now. We've had a big run up in the equity markets, in the stock market, in crypto. And people are saying, wait, listen, I'm up X amount. Why don't I take some off the table? Because you have all these unforeseen possible negatives out there. For instance, Jerome Powell saying something that the market doesn't recognize. So I think the big question is watch what happens into Wednesday. If we rally back up, then I'd be bearish going into this.
Now let's have a quick look at Bitcoin and what levels Gareth is looking into.
So what you do have, and you're correct, you have this kind of sideways. Now the one negative here is that we had this attempted breakout which occurred on a Sunday. Now, you know, for everyone watching, never trust a crypto move that occurs on a weekend because you don't have volume there. You can see exactly what happened. Bitcoin had this nice run up, touched kind of 24,000. And then today markets are open, markets are selling, institutional volumes in there, whale volume, and it comes right back in. So I agree. I think your next stop is right here. You have this pivot low right here and this pivot high. So that's right around 25,000. So that would be, if we continue up, that would be your resistance point. I ultimately am still in the camp that the lows are not in on the crypto market. So I would be kind of in the camp of saying that at some point we will see a big rollover again. Yeah, I mean, between these pivot lows over here, all this here, and then all this sideways chop right here, all of that is just so much major resistance. That will be an epically big resistance level for Bitcoin.
What would it take to have Gareth bullish short-term on Bitcoin or change his bias on the Bitcoin bottom for 2023?
For me, there are a couple of things that I'm looking at. I would be looking at this area right here. So this is kind of a major, remember, this was your pivot low of 2021 before the second move up. So that's going to be really a lot of resistance. You have this level that we broke down on. So if we got back above this and held above 40,000, then I think you have to say the next run is probably in place for 100,000. And I think 100,000 to me is your next spot. And one of the things I'm looking at here is this trend line right here, right? So wherever this trend line is when Bitcoin gets up there, that to me would be the next resistance of the cycle, right? Connecting these high pivots here.
Also, these are Gareth's open positions in altcoins if you're wondering.
I still have a position long in Bitcoin, right? So the target on that is still 25,000 or so, this resistance level. I do have a position on Polkadot as well, DOT-USD here. And again, same kind of thing. If it gets up into this range here or this area here, I'm going to unload that. Now, I do have short signals out there. One of them is Solana. Solana, I'm in from about $25.50 on the short side. That's in the money a little bit here. And there's just so many resistance levels on Solana right up here. Avalanche I put out as a sell short yesterday. And again, we're in the money slightly here off of this resistance area here. And then also Ethereum. I actually think that Ethereum very likely topped out when it topped this pivot here. And again, we're short on Ethereum, slightly in the money as well.
And to close this fantastic interview, this is his prediction for 2023.
I have Bitcoin slated to bottom this year. Now, again, is that going to be May or June or where not? I mean, we'll find out. Maybe it already bottomed already for all we know. But ultimately, I agree that it is a buy the dip year. It's finally at levels where anything, to be honest, below 20,000 looks interesting. And I think, again, the biggest thing I would say is don't chase it up here. You have limited upside to 25, maybe 30. Just look for pullback. So you don't want to FOMO in. FOMO is like the worst thing. Think about people that FOMO'd in above 60,000 back in 2021. They all got screwed. So think about it. Just buy it on dips. Buy on pullbacks, find your technical levels. Like for me on Bitcoin, a few technical levels to watch would be this. This was the FTX high just before the collapse. We can clearly see that right here, it hit, pulled back, and then broke. So this will be support. Another big level for support would be right in here as well. Yeah. You have this pivot high and these lows. So you have a few levels where if you're saying, okay, I want to buy, but I don't want to pay up here, look for here. And then if it does get all the way down here, you have double bottom.
We hope you took value from this video, so please remember to pay attention to the charts today and be careful with fundamentals. This is the time to protect your crypto. See you tomorrow for more daily crypto. Bye.